Then moving on downstream, there would be downstream facilities constructed at the two COPCOs and also at Iron Gate Dam. So under the preliminary prescriptions, there would be complete passage for anadromous fish all the way through the project in both directions. And those are, again, under the preliminary prescriptions. All that would be completed within 8 years after the issuance of the license. So the next steps. We filed our preliminary prescriptions back in the spring. The Federal Energy Regulatory Commission issued their draft environmental impact statement on the 25th of September. And it has, they analyzed 4 alternatives. The agencies are in the process of commenting on that now, as I'm sure a lot of the other interested parties are as well. Those alternatives were a Pacificor's license proposal, which is, rather than essentially, in a nutshell, it's to provide trap and haul of fish around the project rather than using ladders and fishways. Then a couple of alternatives from the F.E.R.C staff that include some of the agency conditions. And then another alternative that would remove 2 dams, Iron Gate and COPCO 1. I mentioned a moment ago that there was a new legal process in which the applicant is provided the opportunity to challenge the facts. We went through that process for the summer. So we spent the summer in preparation for the administrative law hearing, and then we spent a week in court in Sacramento in August, in which Pacificor challenged the factual basis for the agency's conditions. And right after the issuance of the EIS, the ALJ ruled on that and found essentially in the government's favor on 11 of the 14 issues. One of the others we were not contesting. So the factual basis for our prescriptions has now been firmly established. There will be public meetings held by the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission in Klamath Falls, Wairika, and Eureka, and I guess this one may be new. I was not familiar with that one. Those are coming right up. So then the upshot of that is in early 2007, the agencies will issue our modified conditions, which are potentially mandatory on the license. And in doing that, we will consider a number of different things. One will be the findings of the administrative law judge from the recent proceeding. We'll consider the F.E.R.C analysis in their NEPA analysis, and then all the public comments on that, as well as the alternative conditions that were provided by Pacificor. There are also alternatives have been provided by the Hoopa Valley Tribe, Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife, and California Department of Fish and Game on various aspects of those prescriptions. So Pacificor has also filed for certification with both California and Oregon water quality agencies. They have to get Clean Water Act certifications before the license can be completed. F.E.R.C will also have to complete consultation with the Fish and Wildlife Service and National Marine Fisheries Service on endangered species impacts to listed suckers and listed coho. The current schedule would have the license issued in the fall of 2007, but it is likely that that will drag out to some extent beyond. Many of you are aware that there is a settlement process underway in which most of the stakeholders in the basin are involved in discussions that could eventually lead to an even more a broader solution or a broader addressing of anadromous fish questions anyway through dam removal, but all of that is subject to confidentiality agreements, and none of the parties involved can really discuss it right now. So what I've focused on here is the traditional process that the agencies are going through toward an eventual relicensing of the hydro project with potentially with passage for anadromous fish in both directions throughout the entire project. Thank you.